and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Thursday, September 13th. And again, the big story is going to be Hurricane Florence as it eventually makes landfall across portions of south central North Carolina, and then it's going to meander around for about 3 or 4 days and then eventually get pulled to the north. But a lot of rainfall. Again, the areas that I'm most concerned about is central and southern North Carolina. And again, I think any of the inland areas are going to see some tremendous storm surges, maybe over 9 feet. And again, that's going to be the big issue, along with the heavy rains that could fall as much as 20 to 40 inches of rain in some areas. So that's going to be a significant disaster for this area of North Carolina, South Carolina. You're going to also get some storm surge, especially from around the Myrtle Beach area to the north. And again, amounts there could be anywhere between 10 to 20 inches of rain and locally higher amounts. But again, I think the areas around North Carolina are going to be the hardest hit when you consider all the winds, the surge, and the rainfall. Luckily, this storm has weakened down to a Category 2 with maximum sustained winds of 110. There could be some strengthening, but definitely this is better news as far as the wind aspects. But again, the surge and the heavy rainfall is the big killer of these kind of storms, and that certainly is going to remain a very, very high risk for that area. For us, lots of sunshine. This will be a broken record right down through early next week, upper 70s to low 80s. No rainfall expected here in the Great Lakes until maybe Tuesday. Even then, that doesn't look like much of a system. But a strong cold front will certainly turn us back towards normal, about 10 degrees cooler than what we'll see here over the next 4 days or so. And again, Hurricane Florence is marching towards the Carolinas. Going to be the big news story. And our next slide, you can see we're digging up some dirt and old asphalt, and eventually this will all be a nice paved area through here, and from what I understand, right down through the silos. And that's certainly going to be a benefit for all of our big trucks that come in and haul grain out of here. So a welcome project there. And you can see, again, much like the day before, a beautiful day out there, and we expect plenty more of those to come. Our normal high is 73. Now our normal lows are below 50, so we're getting colder every day. And yesterday we had a high of 79 and a low of 53, so we're about 5 degrees above normal yesterday. No precipitation. And again, September, much like August, a very warm month so far, running about 5.4 degrees per day above normal. And as far as sunrise, 7:15 this morning, sunsets tonight at 7:52. And if we look at the next slide, the very, very dry July certainly shows up, but then we had a very wet August, and so far a mixed bag through about halfway through the month of September, with some areas quite wet, some areas pretty dry. But overall, we're right about almost right on tap for normal of what we should have for the growing season at 99.16%. So again, a very normal, not necessarily how we got to normal, it is the typical way you want to get there, but nonetheless, we've seen a tremendous amount of growing degree days and plenty of precipitation. And if we could just take that 21 days there and take some of the rain from August and give us some rain back in July, we'd be in really good shape. And you can see as far as the graphical look at how the months of this growing season have fared, you can see our very wet August, our very dry July, which you can hardly see. And so that's another way of looking at our rainfall. As far as temperatures out this morning, mainly in the mid to upper 50s. Again, the warm spot 59 in Breckenridge, and the cool spot 53 at Lakeview. As far as the radar goes, there's our Hurricane Florence now just coming on screen here. And you can kind of see the eye wall as it begins to show up here on this last frame or two. Again, that's marching right towards the Carolinas. And again, my biggest concern is going to be Williamsport, North Carolina. I think that could be ground zero, so you may be hearing a lot about that town here over the coming days. On the satellite view, you can see our storm somewhat disorganized on the southern side, but in the last few frames, we see that we're seeing some deeper convection trying to curl around, and that could actually help to possibly intensify it. But certainly this is going to be a Category 2, or if not a Category 3 when it makes landfall here tonight or in Friday morning, and then it's going to kind of skirt down the coast a little bit and then move inland. And again, 3 or 4 days with excessive rainfalls. On the weather map, you can see our hurricane again marching towards the Carolinas, but for much of the Great Lakes, right on through the weekend, we're going to be dominated by high pressure system. As far as rainfall, again, our target zone for maybe the worst place to be will be from around the Williamton, North Carolina, up into some of these inlet areas. Again, a tremendous amount of storm surge can be expected there, and I'm going to try to post throughout the day in the next couple of days maybe some webcam views of some of the areas close to the coast. And you can see our forecast. Lots of nice weather here. Low 80s, maybe upper 70s, low 80s, right on through early next week. A little bit of fog out there this morning, but otherwise just about as good as weather you can ever get for the month of September here in Michigan. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.